better ideas. Life is completely a boring world. This depends on what kind of view you see in the large world. You must get a job, stay and spend your time in the traffic, watching lots of bored products on social media. It is imprescindible growing up with your things in our life. But what is the meaning of life? How can you get that meaning? Because in a specific moment, the monotony creates a safe zone, and that safe zone is a comfort zone. But when you ignore the desires, you improve. You can find your passions and feel the meaning of life. What kind of ideas may I get? That is complexity for thinking about it. Practically, only staying with your slower internet connection on the line for taking your turn. Those things, for example, create an NPC life. Probably you may not start and change your life from one day to another day. When you start with something, you probably have a motivation to develop your skill in that area. But when you realize your material limitation and immaterial limitation, you need to grab better ideas to expand or change your meaning of life. Get a different lens. The monotony creates a bored world. My own favorite song will probably be a boring in the future. With currency, I do the same thing 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 times. At the same time, you live on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Thursday and Sunday with the same habits. What do you do the same action over and over? When you overstate your life, you will want to change something. But how can I do that? You might have an idea, but you should search for other ideas, opinions, information and comments by other people. They are great ways for growing your creativity and clarity about what do you want to do with this thing. It's very complex when you want to change something. The comfort zone always limiting your horizon, but you ought to explore unfamiliar thought patterns. For example, all children are endlessly curious. That is a great thing, because in reality it will be watching with different lenses. You may trigger a little change in a specific area, think more creatively and generate more ideas in every moment. Bored moments. You ought to do nothing. Only you make space for downtime. Leave your cell phone on your bed. You can walk in the evenings without mirrors in your bags, because when you keep your mind as far as information from the internet, you start a conversation with yourself. The greatest leaps of creativity tend to happen when you relax, when you are done with exhaustion. You are doing bad work in the next few days. Your mind is always working and working. You probably have a lot of ideas, a lot of information, and you don't have time for thinking about the most important things. You spill a lot of bad emotions. Your productivity tends to go down because you are not having the space to waste time. You ought to accept the embrace constraints in your life. If you work in the morning and the afternoon, when you stay at home, every time you may read a page of one book, drawing for 30 minutes, starting with a new habit. You should create a space for you. Search for the meaning of happiness. What would happen if we all told the truth? What happens if you tell the truth in your life? Probably, you may not feel dopamine in your brain, but you will learn about your own mistakes. People can imagine a lot of ways to overcome the problems, but you stay in automatic, and probably you will not realize the truth in your life. The person can learn and develop a lot of information, You are to learn a lot of information and have control of your feelings, emotions, and ideas in these automatic systems. It's so sophisticated and emotionally working hard great part of the life, but only exists this way for control and develop your own behavior. In the beginning, you think about your progress. You don't have control about the feedback and learn about it, but you must think about how can I learn about these feedbacks. In this way, you can learn about the process, and probably this process will guarantee the opportunity for developing special skills. Your thoughts yesterday were different. Your representations and interpretations for the thoughts today can be different. And what will happen in the future in this application, in your reason and interpretations? Your life can change, but this thing must change in the future if you do the important work all day.